Hi and welcome to MFL Outdoors. First of all, I'd like to apologise that I haven't had a video out for the last 3 weeks, but that's been primarily down to the weather. It's been absolutely atrocious here. We've had high winds, and when we haven't had high winds it's absolutely been chucking it down, and the field's pretty bad as well. So that's why I haven't been out doing the videos. I did manage to get a couple of nights a while ago where I went out foxing, but unfortunately on those particular nights the fox didn't show up, and I didn't think you'd want to watch me sitting in a truck for 5 hours, so I had to put that one on hold, but I'll update you on that fox with another video. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be using the Browning T-Bolt in 22 LR. That's a straight pull. I've used this rifle for years, and I find it very accurate, and it's never let me down. I have a Harris bipod on there. I haven't put the moderator on yet. I won't put that on until we go out tonight. And this one has the polycarb stock. It originally had the wooden stock when I bought it, but I knew that wouldn't stand up to the weather conditions. They're a nice looking stock, which is why I got it. But I decided to buy the polycarb stock and put the wooden stock away, and this is the one I use. It's also really reduced the weight of the rifle, which is great when you're carrying a lot of stuff at night. So on it I've got the Pulsar N450 night vision scope. That's the one down from the C50. I don't need a daytime digital scope for the work that I do. I like to use a good quality glass optic. I don't think you can beat that during the daytime. So at night I just use this or the thermal scope. But the one thing that I always thought the N450 could have done with was a laser rangefinder. And yes, as you can see, I've fitted one myself, an LRF. So it's a great bit of kit. Wasn't expensive. I think at the time of this video it's £145 I paid, and it has a colour OLED display and a control button that I've actually mounted on the end of the scope here, where the other buttons for the scope actually are, so it fits in quite nicely. And just to tidy up the wire that runs along here, I've put a couple of cable ties on. You can see the aim point of the laser rangefinder, because with it putting out an infrared beam and using a night vision scope, that'll actually see where the beam's hitting. There are actually adjusters on it, so you can get it in position, so you can get it near to where your crosshairs are. But obviously, as you move out, the crosshair, the laser rangefinder will move its point from where the reticle is. But you can still see it within the viewfinder, so you can just move the laser onto the actual animal, and then you can get the range, and then you can move back to your actual crosshairs. So you'll see that and how that works in the video, but it has worked really well. I've used it for a few nights now without any problems at all. It looks quite bulky, but it weighs very little. So it doesn't make much of a difference to the scope. Okay, I'll give you the specifications of the laser rangefinder. You'll have to excuse me because I haven't memorized them, so I'll just read them off my phone here. The range is 5 to 1200 meters. Accuracy is give or take a meter. Display, it's an illuminated OLED screen. And the unit of measure, you can have it in yards or meters. You can change that to whatever you want. It's a class 1 laser. The weight is 220 grams, and that's actually with the battery fitted, which is great. It's water resistance, it's IPX4, and the battery it has is a CR2. The battery lasts absolutely ages. I've had it out a few nights now and had it switched on all the time, and it's still on full at the minute, so I don't know exactly how long it'll last, but it seems to be quite a while. If you have any other questions regarding how I mounted it or anything about it, just drop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them for you. So I think without further ado, we'll wait for darkness to come in, and let's get out there, see what we can do. I've just walked out onto the first field and I'm just scanning around with the thermal spotter, and you can see there's a covey of grey partridge. That's really nice to see. In fact, the numbers are increasing because last time I was here there was only 6, I think it was. We've got a few more there now. Here's the first rabbits of the night. I shot the second one there, you just saw run. You can see it there behind with the thermal. And so that's the first 2. And there we have a lapwing that's just flown down onto the field. Just having a look around. I've just walked across to another field where there's a wood, and scanned the wood, and surprise surprise, look what's shown up. That's the fox, the one that I actually have been trying to get for a while. It shows up every time that I have the 2.2 with me and it's at distance, and then seems to elude me when I have the 2.43 and I'm actually gone out for it. But there it is again. I'm not going to try to call it in because it just bolts as soon as it hears a caller. Somebody's obviously shot at it before. I'll just have to come back for it at a later date. I just shot that rabbit and moved to the top of the hill to scan across the fields, and there's that fox. It's obviously heard the gunshot. It had gone round the bottom part of the wood, and then it's run up the wall line, heading away from me at some speed. It's certainly motoring. You can see it's covering some distance. It's quite a long way away from me there now. But I'm going to watch it and see what it does. It just gives me an idea of where I can maybe come back and get it next time. It's cutting across the field there now. This one is just so jumpy, which makes me 100% sure this has been shot at before, because every time I've encountered it, if it's just the slightest thing, it's off like a shot, as you can see here. It stopped briefly to sniff something there. Right, back to the job in hand. That flashing that you can see on screen is the laser rangefinder. As you can see, you can actually see it in the reticle, so you know exactly where it's hidden. And there we have a woodcock. That's another reason that we control foxes, is to protect these wading birds that are out at night, because without controlling the foxes, these birds would disappear. I've decided not to have a break this time. I'm just going to plough on through, so no dairy lead dunkers for me. No pork pies either. Never mind, let's carry on. I've just seen this rat making its way along the dry stone wall. You can just see it tucked in on the stones. And there you can see it through the thermal after I shot it. As you can see, that one's not a bad size. Rats have done really well this year. I think with the winters getting a lot more mild, they're staying out more, and I've encountered a lot more on the dry stone walls and in the fields than you would normally do at this time of year. Well, you can't win them all. That one was lucky. His friend, however, was not so lucky. Okay, well that's me finished. It's nearly 3 o'clock in the morning now, so I'm heading back for home. I'd just like to say thanks very much for all your support so far. I've got a lot more in the pipeline and some really good stuff to come, but unfortunately I can't do any of that until this weather improves. We just seem to be having horrendous weather around the UK at the moment, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so, and then you'll get to see all the new videos that come out as and when. So all that's left for me to say is thanks very much for watching, take care, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.